All right, so it's 5:06. I guess we'll open the meeting.
You don't want my face, right?
Right, yes, your name is under it.
We'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very impressive that you keep bringing that flag. I appreciate it.
Well, we can't stand up. We could at least have a flag to look at.
I'm serious.
I don't have my sheet that I follow. We had some last minute things fly in here, and I think I left some over in my office. So I guess, yeah, we'll do the roll call, and then I have to think I'd remember this process, but go ahead with a roll call. Irene, you want to take the roll?
All right, you know what? I left mine in after. Give me 3 seconds.
Maybe I can get mine too.
When my January folder, bring me out the first paper that confirmation from last month.
What was that?
Okay, sorry. Roll call. Mayor Sampson, she's not here. President Boyce?
Here.
Vice President Hilbert?
Here.
Councilmember Blaine?
Here.
Councilmember Kelly? Councilmember Kelly?
Here.
Councilmember Kaler?
Here.
Councilmember Flack?
Present.
Councilmember Hogan? And Solicitor Buffalino.
Here.
Quorum is established.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the minutes from the previous meeting?
I'll make
So
that
moved.
motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second if I didn't get the first.
Clarence did.
All right, then I'll
All right, we
I'll
have a
second.
motion and a second to accept the minutes from the previous meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, what's next?
Citizens to be heard.
Do we have any citizens to be heard?
There were no emails that came in.
No emails came in, and somebody named Dave is on here, but I guess,
I can unmute him for a minute. Let me see if Dave has anything he wants to say. Dave, did you have anything you wanted to say? I'm guessing not.
okay, then the floor is closed for the opportunity for citizens to be heard. Can we have reports from the committees? Carol's not there. Did she give us the police report? We haven't had a police report in several months. She didn't send one over? Or the
No,
chief-
she didn't.
Okay. Do we have a zoning report? Bill Hilbert?
Yeah, I have a zoning report from Maureen. She met with myself regarding rental inspections and some other issues. He issued 20 permits for April, 7 zoning, 3 building, 10 burn, year-to-date 58. She reported to the WVSA on monthly stormwater report for April. She drove 3 times around the lake to check on permits, jobs, and complaints. She participated in a webinar on the 22nd. She received a hazard mitigation planning handbook from last month's webinar. She received 8 complaints, with 6 being resolved and 2 pending. She tagged 1 person with no permit, which was since issued. she followed through on email requests and other correspondences, and she processed other paperwork as necessary. That's my zoning report, Chairman.
Thank you. Do we have a road department report?
Yeah, I do have a road report. With all the heavy rains lately, the men have been very, very busy cleaning and rebuilding, in some cases, the drain basins. There were a couple of trees down throughout the storm. They were cleaning and vacuuming some swales. They were getting the streets ready and prepped for the milling and patching that will proceed pretty soon. And they hung some plexiglass, if you saw it in the borough office, at top of the counter. That's my report on the roads.
Okay, are there any other reports from any of the committees? Anybody have anything to report? Okay. I'll need a motion to accept the reports from the committees
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
A motion and a second to report, to accept the committee reports. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. We'll move on to new business. Luzerne County is extending the face period up until August 18th. There will be no penalty for paying your taxes late up till August 18th. We're being asked to go along with the county just to keep things uniform. In order to do that, we need to adopt a resolution. I can read the resolution, but then I'll need a motion to accept that and a second. We can have discussion if anybody wants to. It will give people until August 18th to pay their taxes without paying a penalty. So the resolution is Resolution 20 of the Borough of Harvey's Lake to defer the late penalty fee for real estate tax until August 18th, 2020. Whereas the Borough of Harvey's Lake imposes an annual tax on assessed value of real property located within Luzerne County, and whereas the face value period for said real property tax is set to expire on June 17th, 2020, at which time a 10% penalty is imposed. And whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is operating under a state of emergency declared by the Governor of Pennsylvania on March 6th, 2020, and Luzerne County Council declared a disaster emergency in Luzerne County on March 15th, 2020, resulting from the continuing COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And whereas the Pennsylvania State Legislature passed Act 15 of 2020, which was signed into law by the governor on April 20th, 2020, allowing political subdivisions of the Commonwealth to waive any fee or penalty associated with late payment of said property tax paid up to, but not exceeding, December 31st, 2020. And whereas the Borough of Harvey's Lake believes it is in the best interest of the residents of the Borough of Harvey's Lake to extend the late penalty period on taxes imposed on the assessed value of real property to August 18th, 2020. Now, therefore, the Borough of Harvey's Lake hereby resolves the following. The 10% penalty for taxes imposed on assessed value of real property located in the Borough of Harvey's Lake, Luzerne County, is hereby waived until August 18th, 2020. Adopted this 19th of May, 2020, Borough of Harvey's Lake Council. I don't know if you want to have a discussion on that. This will keep it uniform with the county and.
So it's basically a 2-month extension based on the fact that we've been shut down for a couple months.
Exactly.
I think that's fair.
Would you like to make that motion then, Chad?
I will make that motion as read to go with uniform with the county.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And I would also entertain a motion or a conversation on a motion to make the secretary position permanent. We hired Irene Sankey on a sort of a 90-day probationary period. We called it a temporary appointment. And it's time to make her permanent. And she has done a fantastic job under excruciating circumstances because she had no, she starts off with no one to train her in municipal secretarial jobs, but she came quite equipped with a lot of knowledge and has not been afraid to plunge in and try to muddle through a lot. And then the coronavirus happens. So I'd like a motion to make her position, she is full-time, but to make that full-time secretary position, we've always had a full-time secretary, make that a permanent position.
What is the rate before we go?
I don't know that we were looking at this time to change the rate.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know if there was I didn't know if you had a change plan there, so I wanted to clarify.
Well, I don't know. We didn't talk about that.
Can be brought up.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
can I make a motion to move Borough Secretary Irene Sankey from temporary to permanent status effective immediately?
yes, you can make that motion.
I make the motion.
Do we have a second?
Is there going to be a change in the rate?
I
With that motion.
believe it's at the same rate.
Well, you didn't say that it was not going to be at the same rate. We can discuss, make the position permanent and we can discuss that at a later date. Because we didn't discuss that. I think that's something that should probably be discussed in a work session, but, executive session, but
Clarence
my mo-
seconded it.
okay,
Yeah,
Bill
first-
Hilbert made the motion. Clarence seconded the motion. Clarence seconded the motion. And it did not change the pay rate. That doesn't mean that can't happen at a later date. The motion right now is to make the position permanent. She was appointed temporary and she would now be permanent if this motion carries. So we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Pardon me?
Aye.
Okay, it sounds like there are no nay. So that motion carries. Before we get to bills and payroll, is there any other?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we put Maureen on as a full-time zoning officer at 32 hours a week.
There's a motion to appoint Maureen's position of zoning officer as a 32-hour-a-week position. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to make Maureen Oramis, who's the zoning officer, a 32-hour-a-week employee. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Okay, we better do a roll call vote.
Okay, Councilmember Kaler,
Abstain. No, I'm sorry. I say yes. I vote yes. I'm sorry.
Vice President Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Yes.
Councilmember Blaine,
No.
Councilmember Flack,
Yes.
Councilmember Hogan,
Well, good.
Yes, that would make her a full-time employee. Yeah, our full-time employees get full-time benefits. And President Voice.
Yes.
Yes. 5 ayes and 2 nays.
Motion carries. Is there any old business? I would like a motion to pay the bills and payroll.
Second.
There's a motion to pay the bills and payroll and a second.
Do we have an amount for that?
Yes, we do. And that's on my papers that I think I left in my office. So Irene, do you want to give the total? Give
Yes,
the general bills and then the payrolls.
let me grab them. Hold on one second.
I've been bouncing back and forth between my office and my dining room table, and even carried phones with me, portable ones, upstairs today. So I don't know where I left those papers.
All right, I'll just read that. Our balance,
Give the financial report.
checking and saving is 471,455.43. Our payments are 75,228.56, and our payroll is 34,295.73, which comes up with a total total April expenses of 109,524.29.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills for April.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to pay the bills. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Is there any other business or does anybody have any comments at this time? I'd like to thank all of our borough employees. Nothing has been slowed down. Everyone has continued to work. We had to close the office, but the office is totally open for business in the way that people can call and people can drop their payments off at a lockbox outside. Everything has gone smoothly. The road department's working, the police department's working, the office staff is working, all of our services continue. And I thank everyone for their patience and their diligence in getting through this time period. And these meetings feel so weird on the computer. I'll be glad when we can get back to the meeting room. Everybody stay safe.
I'm glad to see that everybody is safe and that you all look good. So.
Yeah, we do look good, a bunch of old fogies. Oh, sorry, not everybody.
Michelle, did you want to discuss Damien's at all, or are we gonna let that go?
Yeah, that has to happen in an executive session, if any.
Okay.
And we certainly can do that. It's just not in this publicly advertised medium.
Okay.
Now, anything else? Are we all good? Anybody have anything they want to add to the meeting, or I'll look for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion. I guess I'll call that in a second. A motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this meeting is closed.
Stay well, everybody.